Hello, I'm Dr. A.D. Kemp, the Hammer Doc, and I want to welcome you to a brand new edition of Let's See What the Doctor Ordered. Here's a package here that comes from Des Moines, Iowa. When I think of Iowa, I think of wrestling. That's because I've been to Iowa several times. I was about to say many times. It has been many times. And each of the times that I've gone to Iowa, it's been for wrestling. Yeah, there has been some times. I think maybe a couple times I've gone up there and picked up an Oregon or Leslie's. But most of the times I go to Iowa, it's because of wrestling. And that's the way it was in the past. Those days are over because my sons are no longer wrestling. They're grown men doing their thing now. So, when Dad had them in wrestling, we were traveling. What in the world do I have here? What is this? Wow. I wasn't expecting this. Oh, look at what it says. Luke. What did the doctor order? It comes in a Fluke case. Let's see. Oh, I think I remember now. Oh, okay. I remember now. Cool. The doctor ordered a Fluke 1587. Fluke 1587. What is a Fluke 1587, you might ask? Well, I'm glad you did. A Fluke 1587, in addition to being a multimeter that allows me to do the same things that I do in the shop with my other Fluke, the Fluke 1587 allows me to test for insulation damage on wires. So with this Fluke, I'm able to emit a voltage from 50 to 1,000 volts of electricity through a wire, and then be able to test whether there is leakage of voltage through the insulation of that wire. So that's very important when it comes to checking the AC line of a Hammond organ. You're not always able to see the condition of the insulation on the AC line on the Hammond organ. Sometimes it looks good, and without twisting it or without crumbling it, you don't necessarily know if it's leaking. I can generally tell by the touch. I know because good AC line is more subtle and softer to the touch. But I like to have the backup. This is a good, and that's an insulation checker. And because if you don't have the line with you right then, let's say you're somewhere and somebody says, well, Kip, look at my organ. I can look at it, look at the AC line. I can touch it. I can say, well, it looks like it could be brittle. I don't know that unless I find out that it's brittle, because generally by how hard it is, and that's what I'm talking about by the touch. But and if it's hard, probably needs to be changed out. If it's hard, it needs to be changed because It's going to be brittle if it's not already brittle. It could be a hazard anyway, because now you know that because it's aged. That is, the insulation has aged, so it's time to switch it out. That's important. But let's say somebody wants to see it, they want to know, because sometimes you're dealing with people and they don't, well, I don't see, I can't tell where that is bad. Sometimes you're dealing with deacons or pastor, and they say, oh, I don't get what you're talking about. It's hard. That's a personal opinion. Well, it's a professional opinion. But with this, I can put this meter on there and back up what I'm saying. Okay, the insulation is hard, therefore it's most likely brittle. I'm not going to touch it right now because I don't have another cord, and until I get another cord in here, then I'll leave it alone. But I can test it. I can put this on there, and we can see how good or bad this insulation is. In other words, if it's leaking voltage, this will tell me. So that's what the 1587 multimeter is for. And comes with all of these cables here. So I'm looking forward to using this. I have another unit that I bought that I use in the that I'll use as well. I can use it in the shop. So it's not a fluke. It's another type of insulation tester. But I'm glad to have this one because this is most definitely a professional one. All right, so that's enough for this video. The Fluke Insulation Multimeter. All right, so having so much fun, but it's time to let you go because I have work I have to do. I have one more package that I need to open here, and then I have to get in that shop and knock out some projects, okay? In fact, here's the project is right here. So until the next edition of this program, Dr. Kemp here, the Hammer Doc, saying to you, peace out.